At a railway station in a certain city, there lived a beggar who survived by asking passengers on passing trains for alms. One day, while begging, he noticed a tall man dressed in an elegant suit. The beggar thought, "This man looks very wealthy. If I ask him for money, he'll surely give me a generous amount." So he approached the man and asked for alms. Looking at the beggar, the tall man said, "You are always asking people for something. Do you ever give anything to anyone?" The beggar replied, "Sir, I'm a beggar. I spend my life asking others for help. How could I possibly be in a position to give anything to someone else?" The tall man said, "If you can't give anything to others, then you have no right to ask for anything either. I am a businessman, and I believe in exchange. If you have something to offer me, only then can I give you something in return." After saying this, the man boarded the train and left. The beggar couldn't stop thinking about what the businessman had said. His words touched him deeply. He wondered, maybe I don't receive much money because I have nothing to give in return. But I'm just a beggar. What could I possibly offer anyone? After thinking for a long time, he made a decision. From that day forward, whenever someone gave him money, he would give them something in return. But another question troubled him. What can a beggar possibly give? For 2 days, he searched for an answer. On the third day, while sitting near the station, he noticed beautiful flowers blooming on nearby plants. Suddenly, an idea came to him. Why don't I give people a flower in return for their kindness? He loved the idea and picked a handful of flowers. That day, whenever someone gave him money on the train, he gave them a flower in return. People happily accepted the flowers and kept them with them. Soon, this became his daily routine. Every morning, he picked fresh flowers and handed one to every person who donated to him. Within a few days, he noticed something remarkable. More and more people began giving him money. As long as he had flowers, people gladly contributed. Once the flowers ran out, the donations stopped. One day, while begging on a train, he saw the same tall businessman again, the man whose words had inspired him. The beggar hurried over and said, "Today I have something to give you. If you give me some money, I'll give you these flowers in return." The businessman smiled, handed him some money, and accepted the flowers. "Wonderful," he said. "Today you've become a businessman just like me." Then he got off at his station. Once again, the businessman's words struck the beggar's heart. He kept repeating them in his mind. "I'm not a beggar. I'm a businessman." His eyes sparkled with hope. He felt as if he had finally found the key to changing his life. He immediately got off the train and shouted toward the sky with excitement. "I'm not a beggar. I'm a businessman. I can become rich too." People thought he had gone crazy. The next day, he was nowhere to be seen at the station. 6 months later, 6 months later, two well-dressed businessmen happened to meet at the same railway station. One of them shook the other's hand and asked, "Do you recognize me?" The other replied, "No. As far as I know, this is the first time we've met." The first man smiled. "No, this is actually the third time we've met." The second man looked puzzled. "I don't remember. When did we meet before?" The first man said, "We met twice on this very train. I'm the same beggar. During our first meeting, you taught me what I needed to do in life. During our second meeting, you helped me realize who I truly was." The second man suddenly remembered. "Oh yes, you're the beggar I once refused to give money to. And later, I bought flowers from you. But today you're dressed in a suit. Where are you going, and what do you do now?" The former beggar smiled. "Yes, I am that same beggar. But today, I own a large flower business. I'm traveling to another city for work." After a brief pause, he continued, "During our first meeting, you taught me nature's law, that we receive only when we first give something in return. I discovered that this principle truly works. But for years, I kept thinking of myself as nothing more than a beggar. I never looked beyond that identity. When we met the second time, you called me a businessman. That's when I realized I really had become one. I understood why people were giving me money. They weren't giving me charity anymore. They were paying for the flowers I offered them. They were buying my flowers because they were beautiful and inexpensive. In other people's eyes, I had become a small businessman. But in my own eyes, I was still a beggar. Once I changed the way I saw myself, everything changed. I used the money I had earned from selling flowers on the trains to buy more flowers. Gradually, I expanded my business. People here love flowers, and their love for them helped me become the successful flower merchant I am today." The two businessmen smiled, got off the train together, and walked away discussing their businesses. Moral of the story. This story teaches several valuable lessons. The businessman understood the universal principle of give and take. Every successful entrepreneur follows this principle. Value must come before reward. The beggar accepted this natural law, and the results transformed his life. More importantly, he changed the way he thought about himself. The story reminds us that if we change our mindset, we can change our lives. If we continue to see ourselves as small, we will remain small. To achieve something greater, we must first think bigger and believe in our own potential. The moral is simple. Success begins in your mind. Build your self-respect, expand your thinking, and you'll discover opportunities that can lead you to extraordinary success.